Hey guys, welcome back to Flying in Space with Planet Head. Um, I'm going to be doing my hint of the day in a couple of minutes. I wanted to just bring up something here. I'm currently in Edoto? 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 I don't know how to pronounce it. And why am I here? Because I'm just running toward death, basically, looking for the most active area. The thing I'm slowly starting to find currently is that in high sec, a lot of times that really pertains to whenever somebody's ganked. And from what I've learned from watching and from the general comments um, that you guys have, hints that you guys have given me, uh, there are different forms of a gank. Gank being a group of cheap characters um, being able to take out a large priced item ship. Um, it's basically turning the players into the bad guys of the game rather than relying on NPC characters to be that. So one of the bad guys in high sec, one of those groups that you want to be careful of. I remember whenever I first started playing years ago when I was a miner, um, and I was slowly skilling up into my mining barges, and then I got killed by this out in Gulf of Nodi. Um, and I don't want to spend too much on time on this because um, maybe it glorifies. I don't want to say it glorifies. It is part of the game. I have nothing against it for the fact that maybe it forces people to leave high sec because it normally only happens out in high sec and maybe in the more populated areas of low sec. But I just want to show you what I saw in some of the things that you guys have actually told me about their tactics and things like that that I did not know. And I'm not going to be able to cover it all, but if it gives you that rabbit hole or that hole to go down the rabbit hole in to maybe do a little bit more research to keep yourself safe, and that's cool. That said, I need to be a little bit careful because I am in a system with a bunch of. We'll just pull it up here. Oh, they are. So all these guys have now reset themselves, but a lot of them were red because they were ganking. Um, but let's go ahead and get my cloak back on here. So I should have a nice little 15 minutes that I'm fine with. One of the comments that was brought up in the th- game is to basically, if you're hauling things, to not be over 100 million ISK in the ship that you're hauling. And while I believe that is true most of the time, I did find one example here of, and I think I can extrapolate into a little bit more of things that you also want to be careful of, and that's why I'm cloaked up right now. So I'm just going to pull up Z Killboard here. This is what happened just recently, um, and you'll notice a lot of catalysts that were destroyed. They're piloted by safety. They are one of the two major groups of the ganking corps in the area. And there were two ships ganked, and you can always see here where it was actually ganked here. Not always, but it's right there. And ganked right there. And we'll go ahead. Now, if you look, these were both retrievers, and this is what got me wanting to make the video. The first ship I was ever destroyed in by these groups was a retriever because it's a mining barge that has not as much armor on it, so it takes more damage to take out. And if you notice that this retriever here was not worth 100 million ISK. So why, if it's not worth over 100 million, why was it attacked? Because the Gankers didn't need to use as many ships to destroy it. If you look here, we'll just add it up here. We'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Sorry. 12, and then there's a servant. So there are 12 ships took to destroy this one retriever. And uh, when they were able to do that, then those ships will be killed by Concord. Um, but if the ships that they're dying in, and we'll just pull these up, are worth 1.52, um, then the uh, return on investment, the ROI, is actually positive. So if you take 12 times 1.52, that's 18 million ISK, and I'm just generalizing here. And 18 million ISK is less than 55.24 million ISK, so they are risk adverse to the actual, or their return on investment on getting on the kill board is positive. Still not a good thing, but that's why it's done. In my mind, and I don't know what the drop amount is for some of these ships, but so let's say on average, let's go with a round number of 20 million ISK it costs for those ships to be used. If we go into this retriever that got killed by them, and we look to see what it dropped, um, it only dropped 617. So as far as making ISK, they actually lost money um, on this action because nothing, very little actually dropped off of the ship. And what they're looking for here is probably, now they got the hull, um, probably looking for the ice to drop, which was only worth 1.8 million ISK. So you might be asking yourself, so you don't get the money off of that. Um, what are you doing? In reality, while these Galente, these catalysts may be worth 1.52 million ISK on the market, to build them probably cost half as much. I'm just brainstorming now. And then you're also building your reputation. I can't remember if I looked at this one up here. And they actually did it to a second retriever here. This one was worth 53. It dropped 6.3 million, so they were able to pick that stuff up. So you're able to get some items off of it. So off this one, they made 6.3 million ISK off the loot that it dropped. And then maybe if you're talking 10 million ISK probably invested in creating the ships. And then you're creating you're keeping your reputation up, and these guys can um, actually be like the mob and sell contracts to say that we won't kill you, so they can make money off of that as well. I'm trying to think of the right word for that. So that's basically what I've noticed and known, and from what you guys have told me, and just extrapolated the numbers that are out in general off of that. So um, the the only other thing that, and this is brought up, told me earlier, is why do you see all these rookie ships? So whenever the catalysts actually blow up a ship, um, they then are able to give the kill mail out or put the kill mail up, or the guy who died gets a kill mail for those ships. So what can happen is they create a second character, if I'm getting this right, load them up into a rookie ship, and go and kill the guy who killed them. Rookie ship doesn't cost any money, so they take a blob over and kill that guy, and that takes away the kill mail, so they can move on and keep blowing up unsuspecting miners or haulers or things like that. Um, the so it got me thinking of, is there a way to combat this, or at least hinder it to the point where it's not as easy to do? And I'm not saying this is an easy thing to do. These guys have got this down over a long period of time. Or should it be removed? This is somebody, they're not cheating the system, um, and they're putting a little bit of worry into people in high sec, so people aren't just sitting there. I remember when I first started playing, I was mining. I literally would fly my mining ship out, set it up on the largest rock I could find, and then I would go out and mow the lawn. That's not playing a game. I mean, maybe it is for some people. For me, it's not. So putting a little bit of fear into people, and you have your system size. Now this is a point 0.7, so Concord did react pretty quick. Where I got died. That's fantastic. Was in a point 0.5 system, which Concord reacts a lot slower, and that goes into the account of how many ships you have to destroy somebody. So there's really some numbers that are involved. My only thought with this was the last part of it, and maybe an adjustment that the devs could look at is as a uh, new what the breach of this I found is the last part of it where you're taking the rookie ships, which are free ships, and going and killing the pods of the guys who are sitting around with the kill rights, so those go away. My thought is that, and I don't know if this is viable, to make the free rookie ships that you get unable to do PvP. Now, I don't know how that would affect the rest of the game, but at least then the guys who are doing the game are, are doing this have to make an investment into cheaper ships. Now, that might not be a whole lot, but the cost of it might be a pain, but you still have to set up all those ships. So that's my kind of thought with this is maybe that's an option where uh, there are a lot of other things that people could do that I thought of, but I'm sure these guys have been doing this for a long time. But just to combat it on a system ways, I'm not saying get rid of it, but make it harder to do because they're not losing anything by making those free ships. So that said, you can set up ways to avoid guys like this. You could use location agents to find out where some of them are at. You could just check out the map, like I did. I went in here and I went, "Where's the red at?" And there's the red. Stay away from there. Um, so you've got some different options that you can do to avoid it. Does it really need to be fixed? Is it a necessary evil that's out there that forces people to spread their wings and get outside of high sec? I don't know. So that's my thoughts on ganking. I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time on it. It's kind of interesting to watch them while I've been in low sec, all cloaked up. So I've been watching their balls of catalysts circle around each other. It's like this swarm of bees. Um, or wasps or things like that. So that's kind of cool to watch. I haven't actually seen them kill anybody yet, but I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time on it because it's starting to get a little bit boring. Um, so, as far as my hint of the day, let's see here. Wow, that took me a while. So, I want to show you the hint that I have, but then also, and you got people talking about ganking and stuff. It's amazing how people get upset with it when it is what it is. It's been there for 10 years, longer. It'll always be there, I think. Uh, and you're just feeding the tears there. So, um, I did. Space Detroit got destroyed. That's why I had that up in the Z kill board. Do I still have that here? Yeah. So I had some stuff in Space Detroit in Tama. Um, where are you there, Space Detroit Service Corp? And yesterday, if you were watching the video, it popped up that Space Detroit got killed. I wish I would have known. This is something I got to learn as a reporter to look through some information because it would have had to have been in some sort of state before it was destroyed. So I could have hung out and watched while this went on. So I got to learn to do that more often. But the stuff that I had there actually went into asset safety. Um, and if you pull up your note for asset safety, whenever I had some junk in there, it will basically, when a station gets destroyed that has your stuff in it, it will go to the closest, if I'm remembering correctly, we'll go to the closest um, NPC station. Just a little bit. Sorry, I'm one kind of message. I'm waiting for a good message today. Hoping so. Okay, 8, 1, 2, 3. Is that good? Okay, never mind. Sorry. Um, so, long story short, uh, it went to the stuff that I had in that station went to asset saving. It goes to the closest NPC station to it. And then if you read here, the assets for Tama are being moved to asset safety in Tama. I can manually move these items in 5 days. So they're kind of in limbo right now. And then in 5 days, I can manually move them. Or in 20 days, they will automatically move them there, and I can pay a fee to pick them up. So hopefully down the road, I'll be able to do a video on that. My hint of the day, and we're actually going to see how far away Tama is here. Because I got just want to see, so that's 16 jumps. Set destination. Let's check out Heidel's. See how we. So I heard one of the guys in system told me that things are going to be happening in Heidel's over the next couple days, and I wanted to show you. This is kind of an extended. It's an extended notice that Heidel's might be there might be action going on there. So I want to swing over there and be ready for it if possible, so I can get some live views of it. So my trick of the day is something that was brought up to me. Notice here I'm going through the gate. My cloak turns off. I'm trying to get used to doing this. What I've done is I've set up my covert ops cloaking device here and my warp core stabilizer here very easily, and it's a hotkey of F1 and a hotkey of F2. And what was brought up to me is I should be practicing cloaking up every time I go through a gate. So what I can do here is I've set my overview to always have the Stargate that I'm going to, my autopilot route at the top, and then I can keep an eye on local and see what's here. If there's guys who are ganking or doing something that way in HiSec or NullSec, I can see what's going on. If not, then I've got other things that I can see. But long story short, I can keep my hand on here and jump and then hit F1 to cloak. So I can get into that rhythm of constantly, when I go through a gate and I'm leaving the gate, hit F1 to cloak right after I hit the jump button by using my mouse here. If I do it over here, I have to go right click and then down to jump and do it. This way I can just keep it right on there with that highlighted at the top. Now let's do this. We're going to do that one more time, and then I'll show you the second part of this. So I'm just going to, now if I hover this over here, now you want to give it a half a second before you hit the warp button. This also keeps me from double clicking with my finger on the cloak. So I'm just going to click that and then that, and my cloak turns on and I'm ready to roll. Really quick, probably one of the safest ways you can do it. Might be better ways of doing it, but that's what I found so far. I'm getting into a rhythm of doing that every time. The next part is should you there be a gate camp. There's two things that you can do with a gate camp. First, you can try to crash the gate again. So you would just aim your ship, align your ship, and try to micro warp drive to the gate as quickly as possible. And that would be, let's say I came through here and there's guys here that were pointing. What I would want to do is actually, and actually I'm going to do that. I'm going to switch this down. I'm going to put my micro warp drive right here. So that's hotkey of F3. Let's say I want to crash this gate. I'm going to I'm going to hit jump, and then I'm going to hit F3 right afterward, and then hit my cloak. So that did not work. Okay, let's try that again. So let's just go through this gate here real quick. I think I did it too fast. So I'm going to go through the Monarch gate real quick and try to do this. So you need to do it like a half a second, and that's where the practice comes in. So we're going to jump through here. Now I'm going to try to crash this gate again. And I'm going to wait a half a second. I'm going to say Noonan in my head from Danny Noonan from Caddyshack. So I'm going to go right there. And I see there's guys that are trying to kill me. I'm going to want to try to crash the gate. So I'm going to hit jump, then wait a half a second, F3, half a second cloak. So jump, F3, then cloak. There we go. Jump, F3, then cloak. If you can get that rhythm in your head, jump, F3, then cloak. Maybe that would work. So let's just do it one more time. Jump, F3, then cloak. Did not work. Did it too fast. It'll take practice. Sorry. And you can basically, I guess you could keep doing this over and over again to get it down. The last one would be almost something very similar. We're going to jump through. Is rather than crashing gate, you can try to warp away to gate. Now, my theory is you're warping from the start. So what I want to do is try to get to something that I don't have to align to very much. And so I'm going to choose that. Let's say some guys are here. I'm gate cloaked there, but there's guys that are hovering around trying to kill it. So I want to look at something that's out here, and instead of crashing the gate, I'm going to try to go there. So I've got that highlighted. Now I'm going to warp to it, and I'm going to hit cloak right after. So warp, then cloak. There it goes. I went a little bit too fast, and that's where he would. And you've seen me mess this up a couple of times. This is where the great comment was put in there. Just practice it a little bit. Get used to doing it, and the more and more you do it, the better and better you'll get at it. Be careful. I found the biggest hint for this is to not use your mouse for the cloaking or the micro warp driving, especially the cloaking, because you have a tendency to double click where it's a little bit tougher to double click the hotkey in my mind. So that's that. Let's keep on moving over to Heidelberg. Let's see if anything's going on there. If not, that might be all I got for today. I'm at 23 minutes, so we'll check it out. Always want to be careful. Boy, I don't like Old Man Star. Let's check that out. Not a big fan of Old Man Star. I don't know why. I think I maybe died there a long time ago. Let's see if anybody's died recently in Old Man Star before we go jumping through it. We got 8 ships in the last hour. Heidelberg has 9 ships. So maybe we'll get some practice in with the jumping here. Never know, there might be some pointers on this gate. And I should have practiced there. See? I'm not doing what I preach. Keeping this stuff down here, this is my scanning equipment, and this is my get out of jail free card equipment. The nullifier, I'm not. I have turned off right now because I'm not in nullsec, so I shouldn't need it. Um, and when you have it on, it lowers your targeting by half. So if I'm trying to do some sites or anything like that, it really limits me there. Okay. Sorry. Today is Amar Foundation or Empire Day or something like that. The start of that. Um, to be honest with you, those types of things don't interest me a whole lot. Maybe I'll do a little research. We got a couple of days that it's going on. Maybe it's something I can do with my scanning, or I need to be aware of. But I'm more so involved in flying my cheetah around, and maybe starting to look at what do I need to skill into in the future. Okay, we're rolling up on Old Man Star. Let's see what we got. Low security. Yes, I'm fine with that. Okay, so we got 18 in system. Anybody on gate? That guy is there. So let's just go to our first save point, F1. F1. Gotta work on that timing part to this. Look at this, a lot of ships destroyed right off that gate. So something's been going on there. So I am cloaked up. Let's see if we've got any deaths on. Oh, I've had this at. Well, I've been to high six. It's not a big deal. Check and see if this novice outpost has anything. Nothing. Ooh. 5.5. Ooh, so that. Oh no, that's the. So that's off of the Valor gate. So that's all of those guys that died there. Somebody was ganking people there. I want to see what's off of Heidel's. I'm not sure if my second save point gets me close enough. We're going to find out. So I want to scan it first and see if there's anybody just being weird. Okay, cool. It is within 14.3. Is it too close? Nope. Okay. So let's do a 360 right off the bat. Okay, I'm not too worried about that. But what's on the other side? I am learning a ton from you guys. We'll say that. It's amazing how smart some of the players in Eve are. Okay. Big thing here is checking the gate. So we got a bunch of stuff going on there. Let's look at our save spots. And I'm going to try to time this. I need to wait a half a second to hit the cloak. So, ready, warp, and then cloak. There we go. The more practice I get with that, the better. So that's basically it. I might start doing more videos back with Amanda Rose. I think I've spent a lot of time down here in setting up William Pilgrim so he can be that reporter. What I might start doing is going back with Amanda Rose and trying some stuff out with her soon. And then if something important happens, I can now use William Pilgrim and his cheetah to get around and check things out. Probably bounce between the two. I really haven't done a whole lot with her in a little while. So she's been skilling up and getting better. But I haven't been able to play her much because I've been making those second shows for the future videos that I'm doing. So other than that, that's all I got for now. If you have any ideas or any thoughts, please let me know. I'm going to go get some more work done. and open up my brick of Starbucks coffee I got with a $6 off coupon yesterday from uh, my local wholesale club. It's pretty sad. So, boom. Um, Alrighty, guys, that's all I got. Fly safe, fly dangerously, fly however you want, and I will talk to you soon. Have a good one. Bye bye.